Hey, it's Joanna Hunter here for another episode of Into the LightWeb podcast. So today on Ask Joanna and Skylar series, we have a question about attracting in the love of your life. So it's going to be a juicy one. Hang tight, buckle up, and I'll see you on the other side. Hey, and a very warm welcome to the Into the LightWeb podcast with me, your hostess, Joanna Hunter, metaphysical teacher, spiritual life and business coach, published author, and the high priestess of the LightWeb, a spiritual technology that will change your life. This is the place to be to talk everything under the LightWeb, from consciousness, relationships, to money, to spiritual business, and everything in between. Hey, and a warm welcome. So today's question comes from Carly, and she writes, "We know to love ourselves and we are more than enough. I've embodied this 100%. How do you keep the vibration / hope strong when rejected for years by any men of dating interest? No dating relationship alignment success whatsoever, years. At some point, it is hard to keep faith that the tide will shift without manifestations." Okay, so let's get into this question because there is so much to unpack here. So the first thing that I'm going to zone in on is I've embodied this 100% on the self-love aspect. There is no easy way to say this, but no, you haven't. So let's just rip that band-aid off right at the beginning. Here's the thing. Back in the day, I had a beautiful law of attraction teacher called Babel Moore. She's in the spirit world now. But one of the things that she said in one of the classes that I was part of, she said in the class that if you are not receiving, the problem is with you. Now, many, many years later, her words came back to me. I was, quote unquote, doing everything. So we were embodying everything at 100%, or so I thought. And although I wasn't looking to attract in love at that time, I was looking to attract in wealth. And wealth wasn't showing up. And I had literally been at that situation for years and years and years and years. And it was like, well, what gives? Where is wealth? Why isn't wealth showing up? And so I realized that the story of me, I am embodying this 100%, I am doing everything 100%, was actually the lie, was actually the false energy within my energy field. In fact, it was actually the thing that was blocking, because I call that energy what I call the all right Jack energy. I'm all right, Jack, right? I'm all good. We're all done here. We're all good here. We don't need anything. Well, as we project out that energy, that we've embodied that self-love, like that we're all 100% cushy, then what happens is that we actually project the block to receiving in the love as well. So the first thing that needs to happen is realizing that the problem is within your own energy field, and the cure is therefore also within your own energy field. So the first thing is. The second thing that I want to pick up on here is that we know to love ourselves and we know we're more than enough, and we fully embody this 100% is what you've written here. And again, here's why that is maybe not the whole truth that we're telling ourselves. We perhaps on one level of consciousness believe that. I will swear on a stack of Bibles, I believe that as the whole truth. But on another level of consciousness, it can be not really true. And here's the example that Skylar gave me as I was reading this question, is that if you've had a satisfying meal and you were fully filled with that satisfying meal, and I came up to you and I said, hey, would you like some chocolate? You would be in the mindset of like, I could take it or leave it, right? I could take it or leave it. So you're sated, you're fully sated, you don't need anything, so you feel fully sated. So yeah, I could take it or leave it, right? You don't care either way whether you get a piece of the chocolate or don't get a piece of the chocolate. But here's the thing that's really important, and here's the thing that's really important to understand within this situation, is that you do care whether you get chocolate. And in this instance, it's not a piece of chocolate, it is a partner. It is a partner who will hopefully fulfill some unmet need within yourself at the moment. If we were fully loving ourselves and we were fully embodying that we are enough on our own, we would be in the same frame of mind that I'm okay. You know what? Have a partner, don't have a partner. Either way, I'm all good. We're all stocked up here. We're all fulfilled here. We're feeling fulfillment here. So there is a part of you that is seeking, that is still unfulfilled and seeks to be fulfilled with this partner. And while that part of you seeks to be fulfilled with this partner, we have to acknowledge lack. We have to acknowledge, because there's this part of you that is continually telling the lack story. And as this part of you continually tells the lack story, what happens is that we block the energy. We block the energy from creating fulfillment in that moment. So what I want you to do is to sit down with your journal and get really, really honest of what are we wanting this relationship for? Because as we journal, like, what are the perceived bonuses of this relationship? What is it that we need from it? And we want to identify all of the needs. The next step is to start fulfilling all of the needs for ourselves, to begin to fulfill all the needs for ourselves. At that point, we're moving ourselves into a state of readiness to actually receive the relationship that we want. But here's the weird thing. When the relationship comes that we truly want and that we truly desire, at that stage, we may not actually want it anymore. And I know that that sounds really bizarre to say that, because like right now at the moment, there is this deep desire for wanting that relationship. But what happens, I think, for a lot of people is that they look for the outer world to complete them. They look for the outer world to satisfy unmet needs within them. And so if we want to be magnetic to the relationship of our dreams, to the wealth, to whatever it is that we want, if we want to be magnetic to it, we seek to fulfill it within our own self first. Then we are an energetic match for it. And it just means at the moment that as you're going through, you have not been an energetic match, and you have not been an energetic match for years. So your question actually doesn't center around how to become an energetic match. It centers around how do we keep the vibration and hope strong. I think it's in this situation is that it's very hard to keep the vibration and the hope strong when we have the story that we've embodied something 100% and it still isn't showing up, right? That's like, I call that energy the no cookie energy, right? So like, you've done all the things, you ate all your dinner and you still didn't get a cookie at the end, right? No cookie. The no cookie energy is a very frustrating energy. And frustration is the agent of the universe that the universe sends you when you are trying to control things out with your control. And so often we will feel this no cookie energy, and I am no stranger to the feeling of the no cookie energy, doing all the things, feeling like we're doing everything, and then still no cookie. And so what I want to say to you today is that there is not a need to keep the vibration or the hope strong that in itself is an illusion. What is needed more than anything is the honesty that we are not yet an energetic match. And if you can live with, I am not yet an energetic match, can you perhaps see how that will start to open up different questions within you, different consciousness within you? But at the moment, while we are holding really, really, really tight into this, like, I'm embodied self-love, I'm embodied enough. So like, what gives universe? Like, why am I an energetic match? We can feel why it would be so frustrating to not receive the cookie, to not receive the prize, to not receive the desire. But the thing is that the moment we are an energetic match for something is the moment we receive our desire. So the honest situation here is that we are not yet an energetic match for it. And the universe is impartial to us in this. So the moment we're an energetic match for something is the moment that we can attract it into our lives. And so it's not like the universe isn't sitting keeping score and being like, well, you were a bad person and you were this and you were that. It's not a judgment. It's literally just simply, what are you an energetic match for and what are you not an energetic match for? It's nothing personal, or yet we take it so personally ourselves. But if we can move into this level of consciousness that what is happening in your life, even though it is personal to you, it is nothing personal. So again, we don't need to get like our bent out of shape over it. And then the second thing is realizing that we are not 100% embodied, because if we were 100% embodied, we would have, our desire would be here already. So the story of being 100% embodied is actually the thing that is perhaps creating the block to being 100% embodied, because you can't be 100% embodied if you're already 100% embodied. Does that make sense? And so what I want to say is that, yes, it feels hard to keep the faith, but there is no faith that needs to be kept here. Instead of realizing, what if I'm not embodied? What if we start with that and say, what would make me ready to be embodied, right? What would make me ready for the love of my life? What would make me ready for this situation to come into fruition? What would make me ready to be a direct alignment, to be a perfect energetic match for my desire? What would make me ready? If we're approaching the situation with that, what happens is that we will have a much cleaner energy. But the difficulty in this situation, I think, is coming from the idea that we're doing it all perfectly and yet we're not getting the cookie. And the thing is, as soon as we move into truth, that we are not ready yet to be an energetic match. Because if we were ready, we would already be an energetic match. And therefore, if we are not ready to be an energetic match, how can we be fully 100% embodied? We're not. There must be more percentages to go. And if we can let go of that, then there's no hope to have. What we need to have instead is, okay, well, what's the readiness? What does the readiness look like? But if you are already saying, well, I'm ready, I'm good, we're all stocked up here, we're all right, Jack, we're all filled to the brim, then we can see how frustrating it could be to wait for something in years. Because the story is, we're doing it all. We're filled to the brim, we're 100%, it's all good, it's perfect. So I'm doing everything, universe, are you listening? Why aren't you delivering? And we can feel why the frustration would be so potent. But the moment we move into truth and admit, okay, the universe delivers to me instantly the moment that I am ready, the moment that I am an energetic match for this. So up until that moment, that very moment, I cannot be 100% embodied. If we can keep that front and center, then we can start to ask different questions, which will alleviate the frustration that you're currently feeling. And so the next thing as well that I would suggest is if that you're attracting in the love of your life, be specific, write a list, tell the universe what it is that you want. What do you want? What do you seek in a partner? What are the things? But again, check in with all of the things that you would desire in a partner and check in that they are not unmet needs within you. Because if they are unmet needs within you, what that means is that there is a lack within yourself where you are looking for an outside source to fulfill it. And that is never a good recipe for anything in life. Even in wealth, if we're looking for money to fill the feeling of wealthy, to feel the feeling of wealthy, right? And you would think, well, why else would I want money in order to feel wealthy and have that resource? Well, we can create the feeling, we can have zero money and create the feeling of wealth within ourselves. You know, we can feel like one of the wealthiest people in the world without one red cent in our bank account. And when we do that, what we do is not only do we become an energetic match for more money, but we also become an energetic match for having that actual wealth, because the wealth just begins to show up in the outer world because it matches the energy of the inner world. At the moment, your current situation is matching your inner world is confirming lack. You wake up in the morning, you look at the side of the bed, you say, is my partner there? No, he's not there, it's lack. And so as we go through, are you doing everything? Yes, I'm doing everything. So then we get frustrated. Well, what's the frustration? Well, it's lack again, right? So it's like we're frustrated at the lack of results. So we're frustrated. Now we're annoyed. Now we're pissed off because the story is that we're holding as we're doing everything. We're 100% embodied. We're all good here. We're all good. So, you know, there must be something broken in the universe. There's nothing broken in the universe. It is the story that is not in alignment. The story that we're 100% embodied is the thing that's creating the block in the situation. And it's also reaffirming the lack that is within. And so what would it take for you to be in a personal relationship with yourself to the point where you would not feel that you would want another person? That you would be okay no matter what. You would be okay by yourself. Once we get to that level of self-love and that level of embodiment within self-love, then that is usually, and I used to coach a lot of women on attracting in the love of their lives. And I always focused the coaching never really on the love of their lives, and always focused the coaching on them. And we worked on their self-relationship and we built that self-relationship up. And I always knew when the women that I were coaching were ready for love, because they would say, Joanna, how I hired you to like help me find my soulmate or the love of my life. And I'd be like, uh-huh. And they were like, yeah, I couldn't give two frigs now if they actually showed up. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm in such a good place in myself. I would be like cool with like being on my own. That was the moment I knew that they were ready for love. That was the moment that I knew that they were so ready. And I knew that the relationship would be so healthy because they weren't looking for that partner to be needed anywhere within them. They weren't looking for that partner to plug a need that was inside of them. They were plugging that need themselves easily, effortlessly. And therefore, the relationship would just be in the status of what I call a beautiful bonus. It would just be like the icing on top, the cherry on top, the beautifulness in the energy. And that would work really, really well. So that's how I see the energy here in this situation. And I hopefully my insights and Skylar's insights on this has helped you. And whether you're listening to this podcast and not looking for love, maybe you're looking for wealth. What are the stories that where you're blocking and you're saying, well, I'm complete? Because it can't be a delivery if the doors to the delivery bay are shut, because we're all good here. You know, there has to be an openness and admitting of, actually, maybe I'm not fully fulfilled. so that we have a space for fulfillment to go. So hopefully this has been an illuminating podcast. If you want to ask myself and my spirit team Skylar a question, all you need to do is click the link near this video or audio and come and ask Joanna and Skylar for your questions. And if you want to learn how to embody energy at a deep inner level, then come and check out our LightWeb program. LightWeb is the place where we help everyone to step into deeper personal empowerment, deeper intuition, and to understand energy at a deep fundamental level where they can begin to leverage their own energy or leverage your own energy to create the life of your dreams, to create whatever it is that you want to create in this universe. There will be an energy solution for you within the LightWeb. Everything in this world is energy, so learning to surf the LightWeb, a place of pure energy, is literally like unleashing magic in your life.